Very good. We welcome Georgia Tech head coach Michelle Joseph and their student athletes Sydney Wallace and Sasha Goodlett. At this time, we ask Coach Joseph if she's got an opening statement on the game.
Well, first of all, I think you saw it there today why Baylor is the #1 team in the country and why they're undefeated. There's no doubt that Brittany Griner is probably definitely the best player I've ever coached against, I've ever seen play live and played against. She's a tremendous talent on both ends of the floor. But I thought their complementary players, Destiny Williams in particular, I thought had a huge game for them, especially in the first 10 minutes of the game, and really got them off to a great start. Obviously, I'm proud of my team for not giving up, not quitting, and even though we had all underclassmen in there the last 10 minutes of the game, I really thought that they played hard and competed towards the end. And I'm really proud of the tournament that Sydney Wallace had, not just here, but throughout the first and second round, and to come in here and score a school record or a season's personal best 32 points and school record 8 3-pointers. I think just says a lot about her, and it gets us excited about the future.
Bryce Cherry, Waco Trib. Sydney, Baylor had 11 turnovers for the game. I assume that the game plan was obviously to try to force a lot more than that. Maybe what did they do to offset your press?
I feel like they did handle the pressure very well. We could have had a lot more traps and just playing harder, but they're a good team, and we gave it our best. So,
Other questions for the student athletes? Second row.
Luke Meredith for the Associated Press. For Sasha, how difficult was it on the offensive end to go against Griner?
Excuse me. It was very difficult for the fact that, she's so long and she's so lanky, and, you have to keep that in mind when back to the basket moves or whatever, just trying to go at her chest, whatever. It was very tough, so I give a lot of credit to Griner.
Mike Malloy, far right.
Sydney, Mike Malloy with the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. You talk about your shooting performance. 8 out of 12, and you had a couple early that when you guys were playing well and got the lead early. Talk about your overall shooting performance tonight.
I just went out there with a lot of confidence, and I just told myself I would knock it down. So when the chance came where I was open or I saw an opener take a shot, I just took it and I just kept shooting.
Another one here in the front row. 2 in.
Sydney, Mark Emmer from the Des Moines Register. That 10-6 lead you guys jumped out to, they called a timeout, went on a 20-0 run after that. What changed for you guys at that point? What did you see out there?
Basically just we were trying to stop Griner. She just pretty much went on a run. Destiny Williams also, she stepped up, and she had 16 in the first half. So they just took it up a whole nother level.
Once again.
Sydney, could you talk about the turnovers too? I think in that 20-0 run, you had 7 turnovers, and that really seemed to take away the game from you.
Yeah, we kind of got on the heels a little bit, but we just kept trying to play, and just kept trying to play during the game. So,
Okay, front row.
Sydney, even though you guys didn't win today, you might have had the right ideas. The coaches that I've talked to seem to say that the way to beat Baylor is you're going to have to hit a lot of threes. Do you think that might be right, or?
I feel like you have to just knock down open shots, penetrate kick, and just try to limit Griner's touches and play. Don't let other players on their team go off because they're also X factors as well. So.
Once again, we remind the media, state your name and your affiliation too, please. Other questions? Okay. Third row, far right.
Michelle Vopel, ESPN.com. Sasha, I know it's always such a painful thing for seniors, but you know that you've gotten Georgia Tech someplace where this program hasn't been before, and it took the #1 team to knock you out. Does that give you some good feeling about what you were able to accomplish in your career?
It makes me feel proud, me and my fellow seniors, we worked hard, and last year when everyone counted us out, we came together, and, we knew that we was going to take this program to a whole nother level, and that's all we had our mindset on. Personally, this hurts, that this is our last game. I wish, I would have hit a couple more shots, but I mean, that's how the chips fell. But I mean, I'm very proud of the season I've had. I'm very proud of me and my fellow seniors and what we've done and how, we've challenged our underclassmen and how they came out and showed out. Very proud of Sid's performance throughout the tournament, how she came out and just played hard. And I'm very proud to say that I'm a Yellow Jacket, and I'm very proud that I'm leaving this program in the hands of fellow juniors. And I'm just, I'm sad right now, but overall, I'm very proud to be a Yellow Jacket.
And we'll now open it up for questions for Coach Joseph. Okay, third row. All right.
Coach Michelle Vopel of ESPN.com. Amanda Butler said in the last round she felt like Baylor was getting into the realm of the unbeatable just because there's such a threat at all 5 positions, even if you somehow did manage to slow down Griner. Mm-hmm. Can you just talk about that challenge of not being able to get off of anybody because everybody can hurt you?
Right. I really felt like Destiny Williams was a huge factor in the game. I mean, we had to make some adjustments on how we were going to defend based on her performance in the first 10 minutes of the game. So I really feel like she's playing at a level right now. If anything, early in the year when I watched Baylor play, I don't really remember Destiny Williams being this effective. And I think as the season's gone on, she's learned how to play around Brittany and found her game within the realm of what they do around Brittany Griner. And I think that she's really made them difficult to defend because that 4-player, anytime you have a center, like we have Sasha, when everything revolves around Sasha, that 4-player is the key. That 4-player being able to do the things she's able to do, take you off the bounce, hit a 10-footer, get to the offensive glass, she really changes everything. And I thought today she was one of her best games that I've seen her play. And, Odyssey Sims is a great point guard. She's just so disruptive on the defensive end. A lot of people talk about what she does on the offensive end, but defensively, she's really hard to reverse the ball against. She uses her body. She's strong, and she's got quick hands. And I think that was one of the things that, if you ask me what surprised me about Baylor, I would think that I would have to say, on film you can see it, but it's not as obvious until you get in the game and how effective she is on the defensive end.
Front row.
Coach Mike Malloy, Atlanta Journal-Constitution. You got rebounded by 11, and you had 25 offensive rebounds. I think that would surprise most people that would think that Griner would swallow up everything that came in her way. It might have even surprised you from the look on your face. But tell me about that advantage that you guys had today.
No, I thought you said we out-rebounded them. Yeah, I mean, one of the things we do is we said we were really – we needed 20 offensive rebounds. That was one of our goals for the game, to have an opportunity. But I really think that, like I said, Griner does a great job, but most of her rebounds, if you look at her stats, are defensive rebounds. She'll get a couple offensive rebounds. I think she averages 2 or 3 a game in transition where she'll clean it up, Also, if she misses a shot, it's hard for her not to get her own rebound because she's right there. She's a very effective rebounder, and obviously I think Destiny Williams is a great rebounder. You got Brittany Griner, and then you got a sidekick that averages 10 rebounds a game. That's pretty impressive. But I really thought our defense, our rebounding was one of our highlights of the day. I mean, I really thought we got a lot of hustle points.
Other questions? Right here, second row.
Coach, the lead was 29 with about 6 minutes left when Griner went down for that dunk. Given the timing and the score, does that bother you? Or do you just say, hey, that's just how it goes?
It doesn't bother me. I mean, I think she's great for the game. I think it's awesome. I mean, it's pretty awesome to coach against. It's awesome to see. I don't blame her. I mean, she had it. She had the ball. She had the distance. She needed to go for it. I mean, why would we want I would never want to see a player limit themselves or not play to their potential or give everything they have between the lines. And, when she caught that ball, I think it's great for our game. I mean, obviously I wish she wouldn't have dunked on us. I mean, nobody wants to get dunked on, but how many people can actually say, hey, I coached in a game where a female basketball player dunked? I mean, or I played in a game against a female basketball player that dunked. I mean, she's changed our game. She's elevated our game. She brings a lot of notoriety to our game, and anytime she can dunk, I think she should dunk. I mean, I don't think it's a negative thing in any way. In fact, I'm happy for her, and I'm happy to see it.
Okay, front row.
Coach Bryce Cherry with the Waco Trib. You guys started out in the press, and then after a while backed off of it a little bit. Was that because of the way Baylor was breaking it, or?
Well, we have different types of presses. Some are more aggressive than others. Some are just to slow them down, make them make a couple passes. So it wasn't necessarily that we quit pressing. We just changed up our presses, at different times. But it's hard to press a team that has 3 players as aggressive on the perimeter as Baylor has.
Okay, front row, right.
Coach, same question I asked the players. The turnovers, particularly in that 20-0 run in the first half, talk about how important those were.
I thought Baylor did a good job, especially with Sydney Wallace, getting up in her. That's the first time, she's really all year had somebody just really try to deny her the ball. She's been scoring effectively for us in short spurts. But tonight I thought they came out and they paid attention to her. They really tried to keep her from catching the ball, and that caused us some turnovers that we weren't used to getting. But I thought their 16 points off of turnovers in the first half were obviously a difference in the score. That and Destiny Williams. I thought that in the first half, looking at the stat sheet, those were the 2 things that we didn't do a very good job of countering.
Okay, once again, third row.
Michelle Vogel, ESPN.com. Coach, you were a former All-American player yourself, so you understand the historical significance of Monday night with Baylor and Kim and Pat. Just as somebody who's a fan and such a big part of women's basketball, how do you feel about that and just what that matchup is going to mean to this game?
Well, it's very. I think it's a very interesting matchup, but I think all the people that are here in this room and all the people that are going to be back here on Monday night to watch this game, it's going to be historical for a lot of reasons, I believe, and I think it's a tremendous opportunity for people to come out here and watch this game and see it live and be a part of it. I think that I have tremendous respect for Pat Summitt and everything she stands for and represents and what she's done for our game. I think if you talk about somebody that's a pioneer, someone that has changed women's basketball forever, the first name that comes to my mind is Pat Summitt. You talk about a player that has changed our game forever and has made a difference. You talk about Brittany Griner. I don't know that we're ever going to see another female basketball player with the capabilities that Brittany Griner has, and that's the good news. The bad news is she's coming back again next year. So we haven't seen her best yet, but I think Monday night is it's going to be a historical game. I guess that would be the word I would use for it, and it's unfortunate that one of them has to lose because both of those teams and programs are so important to women's basketball.
Other questions for Coach Joseph? Yep, once again.
Just to follow up on next year for you guys, this was a breakthrough season, and I think also people sometimes don't give the credit academically how difficult it is at Georgia Tech and how that's made this breakthrough maybe, I would say, even more difficult than people realize. What's this mean to you and just going forward, especially with the young players that achieved a lot this year?
Well, there's no doubt that I think the thing I'm the most proud of is these 5 seniors are all going to graduate from Georgia Tech in 4 years, which is an amazing accomplishment if anyone knows anything about Georgia Tech. And the fact that these players became the winningest class in the history of the program and then all graduate in 4 years, 4 years is just, it's a huge compliment to our university and to our student athletes. But when the culture, it took us 3 years to change the culture at Georgia Tech and expect to win. And we've gone on 6 seasons in a row and been to 6 NCAA tournaments, and we finally broke through that wall and got to the Sweet 16. And now our players have tasted it. They know what it's like to be at this level. And I'm excited about the players we have coming back, the players we have coming in. Sydney Wallace proved in 3 games. I don't know, it's a lot of points somebody put up in 3 games, 51 in 2 games, and then 30, 34, 32 today. In 3 games, that's a lot of points, and against some very good teams. And so, then we have Ty Marshall, who's one of the top players in the ACC, and Dawn May, and we signed a top 10 recruiting class coming in. So the future is very bright at Georgia Tech. We'll be younger, we'll be different, but we're not going to be. This one is not a one and done situation. We're going to be back for more, and I think now that we know what it takes to get here, it's harder to sell things when blind faith all the time. For 9 years now, I've been selling this program on blind faith and talking about what it's going to be like when we do get there, and no one had actually been there and experienced it. And so now it's I'm surrounded by players that have actually been here. So I have more help now saying this is what we have to do to get to where we want to be. And so this has been a huge season for our program.